Nope, that's the wrong way. Hold on. We did it. You did it, not me. That's all you guys. Let's do the thing. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So happy to have you here. My name, in case you didn't know by now, is Justin. You can call me JP. Welcome to Just JP. Guys, we made it. 13K subscribers. Topographic Oceans from Yes. We're gonna do the whole album, not at once. We're gonna do it song by song. Today we're gonna do the Revealing Science of God, parentheses, Dance of the Dawn, the first track off the album, released in 1973. I cannot thank you enough for getting us to 13K subscribers. That is amazing. We got there relatively quick, in my opinion, coming off with a 10K with Thick as a Brick. I hope that you guys like the studio and the setup. I don't know if you can see it from there, but it's actually like sailor themed. Hold on, let me grab the camera so you guys can see it. Hold on. You got some steering things, some rope, a compass, there's an anchor, and look, there's a boat. Thank you so much for the love and the support in, sharing the videos and liking them, and of course, in getting to this album, subscribing to the channel in the first place. A few things really quick before we jump into it. One, I don't know at what point this video is coming out. I was trying to time doing this video at the right time when we actually hit 13K, but I only have a certain amount of time to record. So this video might come out just a little bit before we hit 13K. But you know what? I'd rather get the video to you guys and the music to you guys a little bit earlier rather than a little bit later. Also, before doing this album, I put up a little question to everyone asking me which version of the album I should do. And it seemed pretty overwhelmingly that everyone told me to do the Steven Wilson remixes. So that is what we are doing. And I was trying to find the Steven Wilson remix for so long on Spotify today before I got here. It looks like on Spotify, they're all split up into different parts, which is the complete song, it seems. They're just split up. I couldn't test it by listening to the song, so I saw that Close to the Edge, the actual song, was also split up the same way. So I went through that, listening to that, a song I already know, and just to make sure like it flowed well, and I can pretty much assume that the same thing is going to happen in the Revealing Science of God. I don't have much to say. I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. We've waited long enough. Getting to 13K, once again, I cannot thank you all enough for supporting the channel. It's still amazing to me that people actually watch the channel. And I'm not trying to sell myself short. I just, I didn't think people would really like it that as much as they are. As always, you're definitely invited to join me in the comments down below. Discuss the music with me. If you haven't introduced yourself before, but you've been watching the videos, I would love for you to introduce yourself in the comments and, just hang out a little bit. Also, you're more than welcome to join me on Twitter. Sometimes I post things. And as always, your support is welcomed on Patreon. You don't have to, but let me tell you, it definitely helps a lot. I just recently started upping the videos that I've been producing here on the channel. Just a little bit. It's what I can do right now. But I put a few more goals in there, so when we reach those goals, we can actually put more videos out. I can take time off of work to put more videos out and focus on the channel just a little bit more. Without further ado, I'm going to restart the camera in just a little bit so we can actually get into the song and it doesn't start over in the recording process. But let's do it, guys. This is Yes with the Revealing Science of God.
Dawn of light lying between the silence and soul sources, chased amid visions of wonder, in moments hardly seem forgotten, colored in pastures of chance dancing leaves cast spells of challenge, amused but real in thought, we fled from the sea. Dawn of thought transferred through moments of days and the searching of revealing corridors of time, provoking memories, disjointed but with purpose, craving penetrations of the links with the self-instructor's sharp and tender love, as we took to the air a picture of the stars. Dawn of our power, we and music descending as fast as misused expression has only to teach love, has to reveal passion, chasing latent corners, and we dance from the ocean. Dawn of love sent within us, colors of awakening among the many wonders. story. Move over, glory to songs of all fighters past. Young Christians see it from the beginning. All people feel it. That's what they're saying. Move over, glory to songs of all fighters past. They move fast, they tell me, but I just can't believe they really mean to. There's someone to tell you a course towards a universal season. Getting over overhanging trees, let them break the forest. They might stand and lead them clearly to behold.
that's it. I thought there was like, I know the lyrics were ending, but I thought there was a lot more coming up. Man, that was a journey. I have no idea how I feel immediately. Hear me out really quick, right? Pure reaction. Listening to Yes, getting up to the 13K and listening to this album, listen, I've been missing listening to longer Yes pieces, right? Just like how at this moment, I'm excited to get to the next one, to hear what they do next. Just like I'm excited to hear Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, because I like hearing what the band can do when they're allowed to breathe a little bit, allowed to stretch their creative muscles, so to speak, into a long form song. So that's exciting for me. So I don't know what I think initially, because I just really wanted to enjoy it. And I did enjoy it. Like, I liked it. I liked it. Let that not even be a question. I definitely liked it. And this song was actually a lot like more soothing and relaxing than I thought. Not that it didn't pick up in moments, but it was definitely a much more laid back kind of atmosphere that they provided here. And one thing I wanted to mention in, going into this album is, just so I'm sure you guys already know, but for myself, I wanted to exactly get the context of when this album appears in their discography, right? So this is after the Yes album, after Fragile, after Close to the Edge. As a matter of fact, 1 year after Close to the Edge, this came out. And then 1 year after this came out, Relayer came out. So, all right, we already get a little bit of an idea of the progression of the band from that. This is what they did after Close to the Edge. They said, hey, instead of just going close to the edge, can we go over it a little bit? Can we jump off and make a double album of material that would fill up 4 sides? And at least on the opening track, I think it's a success. I think that this song is just as adventurous as Close to the Edge. I don't personally, on a first listen, think that it hits all of the high marks that Close to the Edge does. But, we're still on a first date right now, so who knows? After a few more listens, then maybe we'll become more acquainted. I just accidentally started playing the wrong song. The song being split up in here is a little more confusing than the usual. So one thing I really like immediately is something that I always like with Yes, and that's when they all harmonize their voices. Of course, John Anderson. He sounds really fantastic here, by the way. There's one specific moment where he really pushes out a really, really strong note. But then, of course, Squire and Howe coming in to back him on the vocals there in those harmonies, those harmonic places. And that always sounds really nice, especially going with kind of the theme of the song and a little bit of what I was reading. It sounds like a kind of mantra that they're repeating as the harmonies come in. There's definitely a spiritual aspect, of course, with the lyrics in the title, but I mean, just musically, regardless, there's something deep that moves you within the music itself. Forgot to mention that this is actually Alan White's first output with the band. And I think that he does an amazing job. I think that he sounds really nice. He doesn't sound like he's keeping up with the band. He sounds like he's contributing to the band. Now, even though this is the first album that he's on, I don't know if he actually wrote anything or contributed, any musical ideas to the band at this point, or if this material was already written before he got in. That I am unsure of, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it in all of this information that is on their Wikipedia page, at least initially. Getting back to that harmonization part, I like how John opens it up with some beautiful singing here. Sounds very hypnotic. You just kind of, you're kind of pulled into this dream that they're weaving here. And then Hal's just lightly playing some guitar notes there as well in the back, allowing them to ring out. This is a really nice way of slowly reintroducing the band to us, slowly bringing us back. If the last thing that we heard was Siberian Kutru, I mean, that's awesome. That's like a... That's a way of ending an album on a high gear and a high note. So to start their next album very softly is really cool. And by the way, I hope that you guys don't mind this being a long video because, I mean, let's be honest, this is probably going to be a long video. Did you grab a snack? Did you grab a drink? I hope you did. I forgot to get anything for myself, but it's all right. But this repeating mantra in the beginning really kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect. You're going to get that same kind of thematic spirituality that you're going to get and that you have gotten from Yes in the past. This is just kind of brought up. And also the chorus of the song, it actually reminded me a lot, and it wouldn't sound out of place on the Yes album. I'm not exactly sure what it is about the chorus in this song, but it immediately brought me back to the Yes album. But listen to this transition with Alan on the drums. This is big. That's a beautiful transition. Okay, and also those first few notes on the synth from Wakeman, which, by the way, Wakeman does an incredible job here with a lot of subtlety, a lot of atmosphere, but when he picks it up, like in that moment, he picks it up. Did anybody else think that it was going to go into Los Endos from Genesis? Come on, you heard the first two notes, right? Bum 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 bum. That's nice. Something about the way that Howe and Wakeman work off of each other in this album, or in this album I can't speak of, but in this song rather, there's something really melodically pleasing about the way that they bounce. There's something really pleasing about the way that they bounce back and forth melodically between each other. For example, in this section here. This is big. Love that. That's beautiful. I like those big bass and synth notes. That's another nice harmonization between Squire and Wakeman. I just love that big wall of distorted but beautiful synth that comes out of there. Bum, bum. Like, it's just a big moment, and then we get that little lead out of it, and then it gets right back into it. That's true. Another beautiful transition by Howe. And this is when we get into that, like, that main verse. I love the depth of Squire's bass playing here. And alongside John's soft singing here, it sounds so, like, satisfying. That's the word I definitely get out of listening to this. It's a very satisfying song. Hear Me Out, on first listen, this is what I'm kind of getting. And I'm going to have to talk my way through it because I need to get a better idea. But on first listen, I feel like I would put on this song more to, like, chill with a long-form Yes song, rather than, like, go on an adventure. Listening to a song like Close to the Edge is kind of in the middle ground. It's like a calm adventure. For me. Listening to a song like The Gates of Delirium is like full-blown dressing up D&D adventure. You know, you're inviting your friends over and you're choosing your roles. You want to be a warlock, you want to be the mage, you want to be the warrior, you want to be the cleric. I don't know. But Gates of Delirium is like full-blown, you're going on an adventure. I love that reverb that goes on that. That's really nice. Yeah, and John pushing it here. That's lovely. I probably have the music kind of loud while I'm talking. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. But don't you guys think that this would sound really, really nice on the Yes album? It sounds good here, but it just, I don't know, reminds me of it. And this moment part when they all harmonize. Love that pause. That's nice. That's nice. That's mini climax. That's Le Petit Mort, right? That's Le Petit Mort. And in the lyrics right there, let me pull it up again. They are saying, here it goes, I must have waited all of my life for this moment. So I like how they actually kind of break the fourth wall a little bit, musically speaking. They actually pause and give you a moment to really enunciate and highlight that moment. And what is that moment? That's that moment where they all harmonize, they all bring it up, and they bring the house down. And we're laid right back gently down. Just a beautiful stream of, like, golden essence. I don't know where that came from, but that's what I'm feeling. Yeah. I keep coming back to the chorus because I like to listen to it, but there's something about it. I think it's Squire's bass, to be honest, when I'm thinking about it. It's Squire's bass and just the tone that he has and the little bit of space that he's given that hits me. I like that a lot, and I really like the way the chorus is just sung. I like the notes they choose for it. I like the chords they play. That's what I gotta say. And then we get a big change here. What is that sound, guys? What is that? I was listening to that in the song and I'm like, what is that sound? I don't know who's doing that. I don't know what it is that's doing that. I couldn't even begin to tell you who's doing that. I mean, I could guess how. Like that. I don't know what that sound is. But I do like that change from something very calm, very relaxing, into the rumbling of Alan's drums as it gets into just a little bit more of a rocking section. Woo! I like the guitar. Like, this is funky, right? There's something jazzy about this, guys. Something very jazzy about this. Yeah, and I love that change and the way that John sends it off into that change. That's what I mean when I talk about transitions. Not always literally just between, this sound, this chorus, and going into this verse or vice versa. But sometimes just the way that one member, or sometimes more than one member, will lead a certain part and almost like introduces what's about to come next. But in musical terms, they're not literally announcing it, but through the music, through, for example, John singing here, he almost announces that change coming, because once you hear him saying that, you know that it's going to change. And once again, we get back to the S word, satisfaction. It's very satisfying when that happens. And it's not long before it calms down again. And can I say, I like Wakeman's synths and organs and stuff like that, but I really enjoy hearing him just playing piano sometimes. It's just a little more down to earth, and I enjoy the way that he plays. There's that Los Endos riff again. I like how Wakeman brings it down, and then they fill in a little bit, like Squire there. And once again, bringing it back in. And we're getting, what is this, Mellotron now? Gotta admit, I love how he's playing over this. Jeez, this is like skipping stones across a gentle stream. This is picturesque, even without a picture. I could lay here all day. This, I could just sit back and relax, not even with a second thought. That's a nice transition too. Emptying it out right back into John's hands. Yeah, I think Wakeman really excels in this track. I mean, let's get the obvious out the way, they all do. But I just really enjoy what Wakeman contributes. Calm and gentle piano, or whether that is high and risky keys and synthesizer sounds. I enjoy all the layers of what he brings. Just kind of answering the question that I had mentioned before, it says that, I guess originally the song was going to be like 28 minutes long, but they cut 6 minutes of that out. But it says here that the lyrics were written by Anderson and Howe, and each band member is credited for composing the music. So I'm assuming off of that Alan White did have some part in actually creating this song at least. This is magic, guys. I'm warming up more and more to the track as I go through and listen to it again, which, like I said, I mean, it's actually a perfect date analogy. Second date, and hey, I'm starting to warm up even more. Imagine that. Some songs I fall in love with in the first minute or two. Some songs it just takes me a second listen. Either way, it's rewarding. Ooh, nice drumming there. And they bring back that the same motif here again, but it sounds more intense even. Probably because of Wakeman. Did you hear the little piano runs he's throwing in there too? And then of course Howe's really nice guitar here, very heavy. And you guys know that when you heard Howe doing this. Love it. This is when he's cutting loose a little bit. This is breathtaking. See, once again, even in this section, you hear them all like start off so slowly, almost as if introducing themselves. Again, kind of like the beginning. This is beautiful. I love Rick's entry right there. Yeah. I don't want to go through every single moment in the song, but let it be known that it's starting to hit. Now I'm starting to get butterflies in my stomach. I don't know why I pointed my heart when I meant my stomach, but you know what I mean? House guitar with the Mellotron in this section also. Listen to all the subtlety. I think that's what I'm hearing a lot in this particular song, is a lot of subtlety. Some voices rising in the back. Sounds like John alongside, maybe a choir of some sort. This is light. You know what I mean? It's just light. I like how this climax in this song isn't as overblown, is not the word I want to use, but it's not as big as songs like Close to the Edge. But at the same time, I also think that it's very fitting for the atmosphere that the song was going for. I think it's very fitting for the story that's taking place in the song. I think it's just fitting for the song, and I think it makes perfect sense. It's compatible. Just to get an idea of the recording process, it says that Yes spent 5 months arranging, rehearsing, and recording the album. The group were split in deciding where to record. Anderson and Wakeman wanted to retreat to the countryside, while Squire and Howe wanted to stay in London, and White was pretty indifferent, it looks like. I love this. This is so John. Anderson had thought of recording under a tent in a forest at night with electrical generators buried into the ground so they could be inaudible. That's kind of a cool idea, though. I don't know. There's something about that. It says that the revealing science of God is based on the Shruti class of Hindu scripture, which Yogananda described as scriptures that are directly heard or revealed, in particular the Vedas. I have no idea what any of this means, to be honest. Regarding its title, Anderson said, "It's always delicate to start talking about religious things. The track should have just been the revealing, but I got sort of hip." Well, I think if there's anything to say about the song, it's very ambitious. You know, kind of like that same spirit that you got on Close to the Edge and you would get on Relayer. Yes has always been an ambitious band, always looking to push boundaries and always looking to the next discovery. So whether you like this song or not, I feel like you have to at least appreciate what they were doing and trying to do. And in my opinion, succeeding. Let's talk about the lyrics though really quick. Dawn of a light lying between the silence and souled sources, chased amid fusions of wonder in moments hardly seen forgotten. All right, so I was following the lyrics along, and they're very typical John, right? Listen, I feel like you could go through this and read it, and you could get nothing out of it, or you can go through and read it, and your life could be changed because of the words that you're reading. I'm kind of in the middle ground. I really like how poetic it is. I like this very spiritual theme that John has always had going on in the lyrics, but it really shows itself in this particular song, in these particular verses. But at the same time, it gets a little lost when I'm sitting here reading it, trying to follow along. But perhaps that's the purpose. You're not really supposed to follow along. Maybe you're just supposed to feel along. Disjointed, but with purpose. Craving penetrations offer links with the self-instructor sharp of tender love, and as we took to the air, a picture of distance. So I feel like if you really sat down and read this, you could get like a lot of meaning out of it. But they are a little bit dense and maybe a little bit harder to get into just on a surface level. So if you can't get it on a surface level, you're probably going to want to go a little deeper to actually get it. Dawn of our power we amuse, redescending as fast as misused. Expression as only to teach love as to reveal passion chasing late into corners, and we danced from the ocean. So, going with the song title, The Revealing Science of God, Dance of the Dawn. Dance of the Dawn, the beginning of something, the beginning of day. And if we're talking about God, I would imagine it's talking about creation. It's talking about the beginning of everything, I guess, you know? So the dawn of light, the beginning of love. I like the subtitle, Dance of the Dawn. And kind of with the words we're getting a lot of words indicating movement and coming together, which I would imagine is like the science of God. Everything coming together, these molecules, these atoms, these cells, and oh, look, you got life. Called out of tune, but I never saw the face. Heard, but not replaced. I ventured to talk, but I never lost my place. So maybe, trying to talk to God? Chorus, what happened to this song we once knew so well? Signed promise for moments caught within the spell. I must have waited all my life for this moment. From the first line, what happened to this song we once knew so well? I'm kind of getting the idea of like, maybe we're so caught up in, day-to-day life, which we do have to be caught up in sometimes, to forget like the simpler things, whether that is of a religious aspect, or whether that's just of like nature and like, reconnecting with nature. And then as we move closer towards the ending of the song, or more so the middle section, they move fast, they tell me, but I just can't believe that I can feel it. There's someone to tell you amid the challenge we look around in unison with you. And then the lyrics kind of change here and we, I think, get a different perspective really. Getting over overhanging trees, let them rape the forest. Thoughts would send our fusion clearly to be home. So I like that first line, getting over overhanging trees. Like there's such an abundance of trees and vegetation and just land and stuff that you're getting over it. Humankind is getting over it. So he says, let them rape the forest. Like, okay, now we're just going to clear cut all the trees and get rid of the forest and, whatever. And then the lyrics end, past present movers. So I guess people in the past who have created or, led to our present. Moments will possess the future. But only through him we know, send flowered rainbows, a piece apart, chase flowers of the dark and light, of songs to follow and show all we feel for, you seekers of the truth, accepting that reasons will relive, and breathe, and hope, and chase, and love for you, and you, and you. I think that that's a really beautiful ending. First of all of those words are action words, breathe, hope, chase, love. And each of those are also progressive. first you breathe. If you want to just get out, life, first you just live, you breathe. Then you hope. You hope for something more. Then you chase. You actively try to achieve those things that you hope for. And perhaps in the end, you reach love. Whether that's romantic, whether that's self-love. I mean, love can come across in so many different ways. And it says, who is this for? It says, and you, and you, and you. Everyone. No one is excluded. So while a lot of the lyrics in here are like I said, they're a little dense. There's a lot in there. I do really like the way that at least it ends. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the video. If you got this far, jeez, thank you. Thank you for watching. Seriously, I really appreciate you, all of you getting us a 13K. As the song says, and you, and you, and even you. As always, I would love to know what you guys thought of the song. Definitely join me in the comments down below. Don't forget, if you've never commented before, this would be the time to do it. Just pop in and say hello. I'd love to at least say hi back to you. You can also join me on Twitter if you'd like, and you can support the channel on Patreon. Helps a lot, but you don't have to. I'm hoping that you just enjoyed the video, you enjoy the channel, and you're just having a good time listening to some good music. Have a fantastic day, guys. For me, it's night, so I hope that you have a fantastic night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.